This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car right in your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
In coaching, most jobs aren't filled through public job postings. They're filled through relationships. If you want to advance in your career, you can't just wait for the right job to open up. You have to position yourself so when an opportunity comes, the decision makers already know who you are. Today, we're talking about how to get on the radar of hiring coaches before the next job opens. To prepare yourself for the next job, be sure to enter the Coach Portal at coach-portal.com. Enter the code CC Podcast for 6 months free. Joining us today to discuss this topic is Jay Nunez. He is the special teams coordinator at Alabama. Great to have you here on the podcast and get some insight from you on this topic.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Any way I can give back and give some advice to a younger kind of version of myself, pouring into people. Always excited to do that.
Yeah, in that younger group of coaches, really any coaches who want to get on the radar of maybe a bigger job, there's probably some things that are helpful from that standpoint. We'd love for you to share some tips on how to get on the radar, how to be involved and get your name in the hat for some of these jobs that come up that might be bigger than where you're at right now.
It's so cliche. And I remember hearing this stuff when I was a younger coach, at Minnesota, as a quality control 14 years ago or whatever it was. And everybody talks about be where you're at, be present, don't worry about the next job. And being honest with you, as a young guy, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, don't worry about the next job. How am I going to get the next job? I don't know anybody. I've been doing this for 2 years. I'm ready for the next step, I thought, but you're not, and with all jobs, you look back 2 years prior in your career and you're like, man, I was an idiot. But as I've gotten a little older, I still like to think of myself young, but there's so much truth in that. To me, if you look at the lens of that, I'm a head coach and I'm hiring 10 assistants or more now with the rule changes. But the people I'm hiring, like I'm putting my livelihood and I'm putting my one chance, I'm a first time head coach, to be successful in this group of 10 to 15 people. So for me, putting myself, I want to be a head coach one day when I'm hiring people, like I'm going for genuine, authentic people who are doing it for the right reasons. So for me, it's being where I'm at and I got 10 toes in the ground. I'm in the A gap. There's no job too small. I'm picking up trash, pouring into kids, because myself here in Oklahoma and places I've been, I'm watching that stuff. And it's like, okay, I see that GA right there. That's, everybody talks about servant leadership. Like he is not about himself. He is about other people. And because he is like that, he elevates people. And that's what coaching is. It's taking the kid where he is and you see where he can be. And I'm going to pour myself into that person to get him there without selfish reasons. Because kids nowadays, they see through that. Like, hey, they know that guy, Coach Nunez, just cares about himself. He's just making me do this kickoff stuff so he looks good. But I can pour into the kids and, hey, this is why we're doing this. And it's investing in yourself. And then it's real. So as the young coaches that are doing this stuff, sounds backwards, but you got to enjoy where you're at. You got to be great with what you're doing. And to me, that's how you put yourself on the map to get to where you want to be. Because you don't know people as a first-time GA. You just don't. So you are basically how you carry yourself day in, day out is your resume for that quarterback coach there to recommend you to be the DB coach wherever. And everybody knows football. I've never coached receivers in my life. I can coach somebody run a hitch. I coach a speed out. I can say, okay, we're running a post right here and the safety's over the top, so go flat. Hey, you beat him, stay high. Like I can do that. But it's more how you do what you do that gets you those first opportunities. And getting that first job's the hardest one. Because then once you get that one, the scarlet letter's gone and people are more trusting. But to get that first one, I think you got to be where you're at. You got to be genuine. You got to make it about everybody else in the building, not about yourself. First one in, last to leave, all that stuff. Jobs that aren't yours, you're doing them because they need to be done. And that's how you get people to recommend you, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that. Just to genuinely pour into others. It is that servant leadership aspect of it too. Certainly networking becomes a part. I mean, you want to be where you are. How does a young coach, I guess, go about starting to build that network and the relationships outside of their own building?
Yeah. So I think the AFCA is such a big deal, going down there and obviously the talks and presentations and getting better, but just meeting people through really good friends. And the first time you go, you don't know anybody. And then the second time, you know 3 people really well, and you're with them the whole time, and you meet this guy, you meet that guy. And then you have intentionality through the year of keeping up and, hey, how you doing? Hope, good luck in camp, and not asking for things through all that stuff, but generally pouring into that person. Hey, you guys had a tough loss last week. Hey, keep your head high. You're good. I'm a special teams guy. We play bad. And somebody texts me like, hey, it happens to everybody. You're good. Not asking for, hey, what are you doing on punt or this, but just like, hey, I think that guy's hurting. Some encouragement or congratulations. But you're always doing that type of stuff. And that's how relationships are built, is just kind of pouring into people. So, and then as it snowballs, the next time you go around, 10 people, so you're just meeting more. And then anytime you can do kind of summit stuff, clinic talks with, similar staffs and going in there and just getting around people. I think that's so big. But a lot of it, again, is just showing your genuineness to people as you're building those relationships. I mean, just getting back to, if I'm hiring somebody, like, I want a good person that's doing it for the right reasons, not somebody who has all these agendas and all these plans that they're trying to get done. I think that's kind of be your separator.
So as you build your network over the years, some of those opportunities come up, and maybe some of those people you've met and now have become part of your network are involved in those things. What's the right way to go about getting your name in the hat for some of those jobs? I mean, we all know, yes, you can go submit your application and resume, but it's always people with some kind of an inside track to get it. What's the right way to go about saying, hey, I'm interested, and maybe getting your hat in the ring for that?
Yeah, I think it's all obviously the hows and whys of all that stuff. Like if it's in conference or something, you got to just have some common sense about things. But if it's something that advances your career and helps you out, I think it's using the people in your building or people that you've worked with. Again, just flip it over. Like, hey, I'm a head coach, I'm hiring somebody. Like, if you're recommending somebody to me, like, it better not be the third person friend. Like, hey, I know a guy who knows a guy, heard he's good. Like that's not helping you. You're wasting your time and everybody else's. But hey, we worked together for 5 years. Hey, I know what this guy's all about. All the stuff we've already talked about. He's on it with the schematics, great recruiter. But, first hand can vouch for you. Or if there's somebody that's on the staff you're trying to get on that worked with you, like that's the way to go. Because again, it's just the lens of, as a head coach, whoever he's hiring, he's entrusting a lot too. So there's got to be some real connections with the right people to have a chance if the head coach hasn't, worked with you priorly. But using those avenues, like the first cousin type of deal, not 3 cousins down the line and 5 friends removed, because that's not getting you anywhere.
Jay, I appreciate you taking the time, sharing some insight into the process and how to go about building a network and getting yourself on the radar of coaches when some of those opportunities come about. So thank you, and best of luck to you and the Tide here in 2025.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot.
Want to make sure hiring coaches know who you are? Start building relationships and get your resume in front of the decision makers. Upload your resume to Coach Portal today and put yourself on the radar before the next job opens up. Go to coach-portal.com, enter the code CC Podcast, and make your next move.